everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. So I am back for another video. I might look a bit different. I did get my hair done, I think it was like a week ago now. So yeah, I got my hair done, copper, but it's still me, it's still Jess. If you're like, who is that? It's still me. I might look a little bit different. But yeah, I'm back for another video. So this video we are doing wholesale and all things wholesale. Are you ready for wholesale? Are you prepared for wholesale? Should you do wholesale? How do you set up wholesale? I'm going to try and cover as much as I can, obviously without going too in depth. If you guys do want a part 2, I'm happy to do that. Yeah, I'm going to go over like the main basics of wholesale, how you set it up, any tips and advice. I've been doing wholesale for, I can't remember the exact time, but I'd say maybe 5 months now, so I don't know everything, but I feel like I've learned quite a lot in the past 5 months. So yeah, I'm going to go into the video and give you guys some advice, some tips and everything you need to know. So the first thing I will talk about is, are you even ready for wholesale? Are you prepared for wholesale? Should you sell your products wholesale? Because there are some people, some businesses with certain items that you shouldn't sell products wholesale. So I'll go into that now. So for example, if you are like a crochet business or you make one-off bespoke pieces, like custom pieces, your items take a while to make, like they take hours to make, I wouldn't really recommend wholesale. Because say you get an order for, let's say you have a crochet business and you crochet like stuffed animals, say you get an order for 20 of these stuffed animals, that is going to take you a long time to make each stuffed animal. And is the money you're going to get from that worth the time? Because you have to think about it in this way as well. If you are going to go into wholesale, you are taking away time from your business in terms of like developing your business, packaging your business, because when you get a wholesale order, it does take a long time, for me anyway, to get this wholesale order ready. You've got to make, well, if you make your items or order them in, it can be obviously quicker if you order in your items, but a lot of my items I make, so obviously you've got to make the items, you've got to package it, which takes a long time as well. You've got to make sure it's all secure. You've got to maybe like work out your profits. It does take quite a while. On average for me, when I get a wholesale order, it might take me like 3 days. Not the entire day obviously, but my like work day, it might take me like 2-3 days to just prepare, get together. You have to put your like logo, obviously I'll cover it later in the video, but you got to put your logos on the products. So it does take quite a while, depending on the size of the order. Obviously if you get a huge order, it's going to take weeks. It can take weeks to get everything ready. If you got like a little order, it might take you maybe a day to get prepared. But yeah, you've got to think, obviously if you make your products bespoke, wholesale probably isn't for you. Just because if you had to make 20 crochet animals, it would take you a long time. So yeah, just think about that. Do you make your products? How long does it take to make your products? So for example, for me, I make my groovy wall mirrors, if you've seen them, and each mirror maybe takes me 10-15 minutes, so not too long, so that I can kind of work out how long it would take me to make 10, for example. So yeah, you've got to think about how long it takes to make products, and is it worth the money? Is it worth it? And do you get your product? If you get your products ordered in, say for example my notepads, I only have like one design for my notepads, I only sell one. But I design it, then it gets brought into me, so it's a lot quicker. I don't have to make anything. So just weigh up how long it takes to make your products. Sorry, that was like way too long an explanation, but yeah, hopefully you get what I mean. Think about how long it takes to make your products. Another thing you need to consider, which is similar to the last point, is, are your products made to order? Are your products always in stock? So for example, if you make notepads but you live in the UK, but you get them printed in America, you've got to think about how long that takes. So if someone ordered 30 notepads and you only have 10 in stock, you've got to order those other 20 notepads, get them in from America, which will probably take a few weeks. So that person, the customer who's ordered that wholesale order, is going to have to wait 2 weeks for those notepads. So you want to maybe rethink your suppliers in that circumstance. Maybe get a supplier in the UK so it comes quicker. Also, sorry if you hear rattling, it's really windy and all the doors are rattling. But yeah, you've got to think about your stock. If you have made to order items, it's a bit easier. So for me, I have a lot of made to order items, so it kind of works. But yeah, if you do have items that are made and sent to you, then you want to think about, do you have enough stock? Or you can go onto the wholesale website and type in how much you have available, I think. But yeah, you've got to think about how long it's going to take to come to you. I think it just about works if you get your stuff made and you are in the same country as it's made, because it shouldn't take too long to come. But you want to let them know. But yeah, you've got to think about that as well and consider that. But if you do make your own products, then you should be okay, as long as you have the stuff to make the products in stock. Yeah, you've got to consider that as well. So another thing you want to consider before thinking about wholesale, before setting your shop up, it's not a big thing, but you do just want to think about it, is packaging. So for example, if I got a big order, which I actually had this problem the other day, I had a big order for some mugs and I needed a big box, a big box to fit all these mugs in. I looked across the entire house and I did not have a big box. You'd think I would, because I'm a small business owner and I get boxes all the time, but I don't usually keep them because they take up so much room. My office is okay size, but it's not enough room to have like all these boxes in, and I don't want to have boxes all around the house, so I usually put them on the bonfire or something, or recycle them if I can. But yeah, I didn't have a box for these mugs. I looked everywhere and I ended up having to use a my box for my heat press. I have a Cricut heat press and it came in the box, and I kept the box because like if this ever like breaks or I need to return it or I need to sell it, I'm gonna keep the box. I ended up having to use that box, which was really annoying because I wanted to keep that box, but I had no other box I could use. So make sure you have boxes ready, big boxes, or you know where you can get some, because yeah, I ran into that issue. And if I didn't have that Cricut heat press box, I don't know what I would have done. I would have had to somehow buy a big box, which would have been annoying, and made the wholesale order delayed. So yeah, make sure you have like boxes, or keep boxes. If you're planning on doing wholesale now, if you get a delivery of something big, keep the box, just keep it somewhere. You can flatten it down, so you do have it ready if you do have a wholesale order. The other thing is you are going to want to put your logo on the items that you sell. It's optional, you don't have to, but it's something I've started doing because, for example, if I sell a phone case and it's going into a shop, like an actual real shop, physical shop, sorry, then I'm going to want the person who buys the phone case to know where it's from, that it's from me, some Cyberchick shop. So I do put like a little sticker inside my phone cases that just says my logo, my website. So yeah, the person who buys it knows where it's from, and that might even get you another sale. So you're going to want maybe like a label maker or something you can make stickers with, like a Cricut. You can cut around stickers with that. As I said, it is optional, but I would recommend it because you might get a future sale or another customer. And if someone, for example, sees that person with the phone case and is like, oh, where's that from? They could just look at the case, look at the sticker, and tell them, oh, it's from Cyberchick shop, and you might get another sale. So I would recommend it. So make sure you have some sort of way to make stickers. There's other ways. You could maybe put like a little business card in it, I'm not sure, or you want to make like backing cards with your logo. It depends on the item, I guess, because the phone cases you can't even make a backing card for that. If you make like maybe like pins, put your website on it. Just try and make sure you're like branding your website, your name is on the product somewhere, because it is your product at the end of the day. You've made it, so you want to take the full credit for that. So I'd invest in some sort of way that you can have that ready before you start. So after all that, after you have decided if you're ready for wholesale or not, I might miss something out, but that's what the top of my head, what I can think of that you need to kind of think about before jumping in, which I didn't. I just jumped straight in, and now I'm like, I should have thought about these things before I just jumped in. So the next thing is, where are you going to sell your wholesale products? So this is obviously up to you. What I sell on is a website called Faire. I'll put it up here so you know how to spell it. Faire is a website I sell on so far. This might change in the future, but I recommend Faire as the first kind of website you sell on, because I feel like you understand more about wholesale, because it can be quite hard to like get your head around when you first do it, because you are selling products in bulk. Obviously the pricing, the shipping, there's a lot to think about, but Faire kind of really helps you with this. There's like a customer service email you can reach out to, which is so good. I've reached out a few times. They are so good, they are quick. It really helps you along the way. It helps you think about, there's so many things to think about. So like case sizing. So basically, your products want to come in case sizes. So for example, my phone cases come in case size of 3, which basically means when they order a phone case, they have to order it in a minimum quantity of 3, not just 1. So like when you normally sell like on Etsy or whatever, you know, you'll get the person ordering just 1 case, but with wholesale, you want to sell stuff in bulk. So you want to think about how many of one product am I going to want to sell as like a case size. So it's really up to you. There's no like standard really that you have to abide by. So my phone cases, I have sets of 3 because there are so many different sizing when they come to phone cases. It's like iPhone 6, there's like Samsung, there's so many different types, and you've got like 6, 7, 8, 9, X for iPhones. So I did them with just groups of 3. So if they wanted to order like an iPhone 8, they have to order 3 iPhone 8s. Does that make sense? Another example, my mirrors, I sell in case sizes of 6. So if they want to buy a mirror, they have to buy 6 of them. My stickers are smaller, you know, they're less expensive. I think they're 99p on my wholesale, so they have to order 10 to be able to get to the stickers. If that makes sense. So you want to think about your case sizing, but that is more clear on Faire. And also Faire covers your shipping, which is absolutely amazing. I couldn't believe it when I signed up for Faire, and then had my first wholesale order and I was like, oh god, how much is shipping going to cost? And I saw it was like £30 to America and it said covered by Faire, and I was like, what? I don't have to pay for this? And I didn't. It was crazy. So Faire actually cover your shipping costs, which is so good. The only thing I need to say is though that Faire do take 25% commission on a retailer's first order. So when a retailer shop places their first order with you on wholesale on Faire, they do take 25% commission. Faire takes that much, so there's 25%. So think of your final order, take 25% from that, and then that's how much you get. On their second order, it's 15%. I'm not sure what the third order yet is because I haven't got a third order yet. I'm guessing maybe 10%. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But I think it does go down. So when a retailer places their second order with you, it has to be the same retailer, by the way. It's not a different one. So if the same shop places a second order with you for wholesale, the fee is less. But they do cover shipping. So in my opinion, it kind of weighs itself out, because if I had, say, £100 order, 25%, and then shipping is about like £30, so it kind of evens itself out. But another thing I should say about that is there's so many things to say, but with Faire, if they buy through your direct link, so when you sign up for Faire, you'll get a direct link. So mine's like faire.com/cyberchic shop or something like that. You have to pay no commission because basically you've got that sale. That makes sense. Sorry if you hear the rattling. But when the order's placed through Faire, Faire's got that sale. So if you don't want the commission, then you want to send out your direct link. But for me, all of my orders so far have been placed through Faire, so I have had to pay a commission on all of my orders. But if I somehow got that sale, which I'll go into in a bit as well, then I wouldn't have to pay any fee because I've technically got that sale. I've just used their platform for like the purchase platform, but I've gotten that sale myself, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's some things to consider about Faire. Feel free to I think you have to get accepted to go on there. So you might want to fill out your application form. You can always watch YouTube videos about it. If you want some more information, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, email me, or leave the links below and I'll try and explain some more about it. But yeah, it's a really good platform. I really recommend it as first starting up. But there is another option if you would like. I don't know much about this though. I don't know much about it because I do use Faire at the moment, but you can set up your wholesale on your own website. Again, I don't know much about this, but if you don't want to pay the fee, which is understandable, then I think you can set up wholesale through your own website. But again, you have to get those customers organically. You have to reach out to people and get those customers. Rather than Faire, it's kind of like Etsy. It's like a big platform, big marketplace, and customers can find you just by searching in, for example, phone case. They can find me through that. Whereas obviously website, you have to get the customers. So things you have to weigh up about it. But yeah, I would recommend Faire just to start off with. I might in the future bring wholesale to my own website, but for now I'm sticking with Faire. So next thing you want to think about, I won't go into a lot of detail about this, but as I've already said, if you do want to bring your own customers in, something you can do, which I have just finished and just done, is build your own wholesale catalogue. So I've just completed my catalogue. Basically what this means is I demand on Procreate or Photoshop, any sort of design software. You want to create like PDF documents, so like A4 PDF documents. Put pictures of your products in. So say I did a page on my keyrings, I sell keyrings. Put your product photos on this. I did 4 per page, so I got 4 keyrings on a page. I'll show you actually in a minute an example of one of my pages. Then you want to put the pricing underneath, to the price of your wholesale price, which again is about 40%. I think people expect about 50% off. I've done 40% off, I think, for most of my products, just because I'm still kind of new to it and I'm not 100% sure about my pricing, my profits, how long it's taking me. I think it does take quite a while for you to really like grasp wholesale, how much you're making, how much you should price your products for. So at the moment I've got 40% off. But yeah, once I've like really grasped my pricing, how much I'm actually earning, how much I'm making, I might go to 50% off, but it's up to you. You can do 50%, 40%, 60%. I'd say nothing less than 40% off, because that's kind of what people expect when they order in bulk. But yeah, so you want to put your pricing underneath your product photos, and then you want to put your case size. So for my keyrings, I think it's 10. They have to order 10 to be able to order them. And you want to do that for all of your products. So all of your products you want to have on this catalogue. I will show you now so you understand what I'm actually talking about. So I'm really sorry it's going to be backwards, which is so annoying. I might put in another clip showing you it the right way around. But here's an example. Here's my keyrings. So you've got all the pictures of some of my keyrings. We've got the pricing. So just say $4.99 for that one, and the rest are $2.99, $5.99. Yeah, the price does vary because the self-love one here is costs a bit more to make, and then this one you get 2. So you've got to think about your pricing, how much you sell it normally, how much you want to sell it wholesale. And then I made it look all pretty. I did it all purple because it is like what you want to reflect your business in the catalogue as well. At the bottom here I've got pack size, case size, same thing, which is 10, so the retailer knows when they look at that how much they need to order to be able to get them. So I've done that with all of my products. So I've got an entire catalogue here with all my products. For some of them I've put more information on them as well. So for example, here's one for my wall prints. At the bottom I've written the sizes available. So I sell an A6, A5, A4, A3. I've put it's high quality gloss cardstock, and I've written A6 to A4 is individually wrapped in a cello bag. And I put the pack size as 4. So yeah, you want to include all the information that they need to know at the bottom there. You can design this however you want. It doesn't have to be like that. But that's just how I've done it. It's just the easiest for me. So yeah, I've got an entire catalogue here with all my products. I've also put some information about my business, some information about me, just because people, when you are showing this to shops, retailers, they might want to know about you, your business, just some extra information. So yeah, the point of this catalogue is when you've made this, which by the way is going to take you a long time, it's taken me about 3 or 4 days, but it'll probably take you longer. I did it as like quickly as possible. Like, this is not perfect. I want to go back and edit it in detail, make it a lot better, but yeah, this is just like what I could do in the time I had. So once you've made that, you will send that out via email. That's just how I've done it, to shops, to retailers. So I went on Instagram a few days ago and I found some shops, some gift shops that I thought would be a good match for my brand, who had like pink, groovy, like cute stuff in their shop already. And I was like, I can see my products in this shop. I think they would look really good. I think their customers would love them. And I reached out to some people and I said, hi, I hope you don't mind me emailing you. I think my customers would love your products. I love your shop. I love the vibe. I didn't say I love the vibe. I was a bit more formal than that. But that's just roughly what I kind of said. And I sent over my catalogue, and I sent my shop, my direct Faire link. So that means when they buy through that, there'll be no commission. I get all the money, which is amazing. And I sent the link to my catalogue. So when they get that email, they can look at all my products and they can look at my online Faire store. I haven't got any orders from that so far. I'm not sure how many people I'm going to have to reach out to get a sale. I reached out to about 5 so far. One person said they're interested and they will refer me to another business partner they had, and they might order in the future. So you might not get like instant orders from it, but you've then emailed them your catalogue and they now have that, and maybe in the future if they're thinking, oh, I might look at that again, and they might find something perfect for their shop at the time. So it's worth doing. I just got on Instagram and looked at shops I think would be a good suit. I don't know what the best way to go about it is. I'm still learning. But that's just how I've done it, and I've sent them my catalogue link. So yeah, if you don't want to pay a fee and that's how you want to do it, then that is a good way to do it. But yeah, I haven't had success with it yet, but hopefully I will. I'll come back and update you guys if I've had success from reaching out directly. But I know other people have had amazing success with it, so I would just keep trying. And yeah, but if you do want more information about the catalogue, reach out to me and I'll try and give you some tips and advice, because it is quite a lot to make. But I'll insert a little clip here of my catalogue if I remember, so you guys can have a little look. But yeah, it's definitely worth making and reaching out to people, because yeah, you don't have to pay any fee, which is amazing. So another thing you want to consider is, where do you want to sell your wholesale products to? Because you don't necessarily have to sell all over the world, and I think this is something Faire's actually really recently changed. This might be wrong, I'm pretty sure I'm right with this, that you don't have to sell everywhere now. You can just sell, so I'm from the UK, I could choose to just sell my wholesale products to the UK, because obviously it's cheaper shipping, you have to pay that anyway. But I don't know why you would necessarily only choose to sell in your country. I don't really see the benefits of that. The only thing I can think of, which I'm actually not 100% sure, is if they order through your direct link, do you pay the shipping? I'm not sure about that. I'm gonna have to look into that, because I've never had someone order through my direct shop link yet. So if you do have to pay shipping, I'll put a little note here. If I'll research it and I'll look into it. And the only thing I can think of is that if you get a sale through your direct link and you don't pay the fee, do you then pay shipping? Because if you have to send to America, it's going to be a lot of money. It's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, I don't see why you wouldn't want to sell your wholesale products everywhere. I mean, unless you only want your business to be in the UK, you don't want people to be finding your business in other countries. I'm not sure, but personally, I want to sell products everywhere, because I'd have to pay shipping if the sale is through Faire anyway. I'm not sure about the direct link. I think they would still cover it. I don't see why they wouldn't. But yeah, I personally want my products to be everywhere. So, but it's up to you. It's up to you. Like, you might only want your products to be in the UK, so you might want to like go in settings and change that. But yeah, something to consider. So yeah, it's now pouring down rain outside. So sorry if you can hear that. It's super cozy though. I'm loving it. But yeah, so in terms of pricing, I'll go into that a little bit more. You want to think about what products you want to put as wholesale, because not all of my products that I sell are available for wholesale, because some of them do take a long time for me to make. Some of my mirrors are more of a complex design, and they take longer for me to make, and if I had an order for 10 of those, I wouldn't be happy, because it would take me so long to make. I don't know if it'd be worth how much I would get. So you want to think about which products you want to actually put as wholesale. When you sign up, when you get onto Faire, you can, if you have a Shopify website, I'm not sure about Etsy, I'm not sure, but I know for Shopify you can import all your listings from Shopify into Faire. So helpful. Like, if I didn't have that, it would have taken me days and days and days to import every single listing and write every single listing. But yeah, you want to think about which products you actually want to sell as wholesale. You don't have to sell them all on wholesale. Maybe your like quickest products, your best selling products you want to have on there. and you want to think about your pricing. So it's tricky, I'm still struggling with it. I know a lot of us people still struggle with pricing in terms of wholesale. I think you maybe have to have like a few orders just to kind of grasp how much you're actually making. So I'll give you guys an example because this might be really helpful as well. I had an order the other week. I think it was £100. It's another thing as well. I'll just quickly mention it as I'm talking about the other thing. Minimum order quantities. So you can set up how much someone has to order to be able to order. So my minimum order quantity is £127, I think, because after the 25% commission fee you have to pay, it's about £100 after that. So my minimum order quantity is basically £100. That's how much money I will get. Because if I had an order for say like £80, they took 25%, it's not going to be a lot of money, and I don't think it'd really be worth the time, the effort for like not much profit. So you want to think about how much they have to order to be able to order. It's up to you. It can be any value. It can be lower than 100. It can be more than 100. You might want to experiment with it. Mine didn't, which used to be £127. It used to be a lot lower. But I think I do want my minimum order quantity to be that now, just because then it's like more worth my time to be able to make decent profit. But yeah, as I was gonna say, profit might not be as much as you think. Because when you get a wholesale order and it's like £150, you're like, oh my god, that is so much money. Like, I need to work for the rest of the week. Like, it feels amazing to have £125 order. But when I've actually gone and worked out how much profit I'm actually making, it's not quite as much as you think. For me, anyway, it obviously does depend. So maybe like £125 order, take away the fee, 25%, so about £100. And then I'm back. I had a moment where I was like, is that even mathematically correct? I'm not great with my maths, but yeah. So £125 order, take away 25% fee, roughly £100, £90. Then you've got to think about how much it's cost you to make the products, the packaging, the stickers for your logo. So when you take all that into account, for me, the actual profit I make is really like £30-40. So not a lot. It's good. It's a nice amount of money, but you've got to think about how long it's taking you to package and make this order. If it's taking you like 8 hours, you got to think, is that worth £40? Probably not. So yeah, that's one thing I'm struggling with, and one thing I'm having to think about, because sometimes I've not made a lot of profit and I've been like, is this amount of work worth the money? And sometimes it hasn't been. I've still done it because I'm too stubborn and I don't want to cancel the order. But yeah, sometimes it's not been quite worth the money. Ideally, you want big orders. I had one really big order. It was like £300. That was amazing. And it didn't take me too long to do that one, because sometimes it depends on the products they order as well. So like stickers, she ordered some stickers and that doesn't take long to make at all. My phone cases don't take too long either. It's really my mirrors that take a while. I don't know why. It's just vinyl. It's so tricky. It's so like tricky to peel off. It goes wrong. Ugh, it's like a nightmare for me. But phone cases don't take too long. Mugs don't take too long. Depends on the product, obviously. But yeah, you've got to think when you get the order, how much you're actually making. You might want to work out how much you're going to make before you even accept it, because you can accept it. I think you can decline it. I haven't declined one yet, so I'm not sure really how that works, but I'm pretty sure you obviously can. But yeah, you want to think about how much money you're actually making. Is it worth it? At the start, you'll probably be like, yeah, it's worth it, because you'll want the money. Because you want to like, that's probably the reason you're doing wholesale, is you want to have another income. But yeah, you want to think about that, how much you're actually making. So that's another thing to consider when you're selling your minimum order quantity. That is why mine is £127 or something like that, because I want to make a decent amount of money for the time and the work it's going to take me. It's obviously taking time away from my business, in terms of, it's not taking away from my business, but you know what I mean, in terms of like my Etsy orders and designing and social media. It does take quite a while to do these wholesale orders. So yeah, just think about that. I'm not perfect. I'm not 100% sure like my pricing all right. Yeah, case sizes as well. That's why you should have your case sizes, like really think about your case sizing. So you want to think about how much of one product you want them to buy for them to be able to order it. So for like my mugs, I think it is 6. So I have to order 6 mugs, be able to order them. So for me that works. So yeah, you want to think about that. You won't get it right first time, probably not. You probably set them wrong first time. It's all learning experience with Wholesale. It's really a learning experience. You learn as you get the orders. So you might have an order and you realise you made like £30, but that took you forever. You might adjust your case sizing. So yeah, I only adjusted my case sizing like the other week. It was like so wrong the entire time. I only had my case sizing as a 1 for each phone case. You have to order 1. So I had a Wholesale order. She ordered like 1 iPhone X, 1 iPhone 12, and I was like, this is like, they could have just ordered from my Etsy realistically. So yeah, you want to think about that. Just think about that before you go into it. But yeah, as I said, you will get it wrong, but it's all learning experience. And another thing to cover as well on terms of packaging, not necessarily how you package the finished result, like the box, but you want to think about the actual individual item packaging. So for me, this is something I've had to deal with and think about, because before, for my packaging, say I sell a phone case on Etsy, I don't really package it. I just put it in my box, probably in some bubble wrap, and send it off. But you might want some like proper nice packaging. I don't know how it would work for phone case. That's probably a bad example. My earrings, for example, I started making earrings. This is probably a bad example as well, actually, because I probably would still send them back in cards if it was an Etsy order. Prints, that's a good example. So for my prints, I sell prints. So I get a Wholesale order for 10 prints. If I had an Etsy order for 10 prints, I would put all those prints in one seller bag and send them off, because I don't need individually wrapped if it's an Etsy order. But if it's Wholesale, you're going to want to individually wrap those prints, because you've got to imagine this order, your products are going on a shelf. It depends, because some people do order and have an online shop. But if it's an actual real like in-person shop, you're going to want to individually wrap things, because they're going to go on shelves. It depends how they display them. They might display them outside the seller bags, but probably not for prints, because you don't want to get like finger marks on them. So yeah, you've got to think about how much that is costing you as well. How much are like these seller bags costing you? So there's a lot of things to factor in. Same with like, so for my prints is a good example. When in the past I've had an issue of when people are taking my print out of the seller bag, where it's sticky as whole seller bag, it can sometimes, if they're not taking it out proper carefully, the sticky bit can get stuck on the print as they're taking it out, and it can rip off the ink, and the print is ruined. So I've had to think about that. You've got to think about some things sometimes. And now for my Etsy orders, I've put the print the other way, so there's no issue with my Etsy orders anymore. But for my Wholesale orders, where I package it backwards, so I fold the sticky bit over onto the front. It doesn't look very professional. For my Etsy orders, it's fine. I don't think they really are gonna care, as long as the product comes out okay. But it doesn't look very professional for Wholesale with the sticky bit on the front, if that makes sense. So I've had to think about that, and I've had to be like, well, I don't want them their customers to buy my print and then take it out and it possibly get stuck. It doesn't happen always, but sometimes people like quickly take it out and it gets stuck. But I also want it to look unprofessional, so I had to think, what am I going to do? And I ended up printing out these stickers that just say on the front, please take care, I'm taking out my print from a seller bag. It is sticky, so please handle with care, or something like that. I've put that sticker on the front of the seller bag now, and I've packaged it in the way that it looks better, so the sticky bit on the back, not on the front. So that's what I have to do. So you do have to like kind of think about these things, how it's going to look in the shop, how the customer is going to unpackage it. Is it going to get damaged when it's unpackaged? So yeah, now I've got that sticker on it. Hopefully they'll read that and I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll like spend a bit of extra care on taking the print out. And that shouldn't happen now. And if it does, it's kind of their fault, because I've put a big sticker on it now saying, be careful. So yeah, that's how I package down now. I've also put my little website on the bottom of that sticker. So again, I've got my website incorporated into it. So yeah, just things like that you want to think about. Your packaging, is it safe? Is the product going to be okay? Does it look good? Does it look professional? It needs to look good. It needs to look professional. This is going on a shop. This is going on a shelves. It needs to look good. So yeah, you want to think about like backing cards, cello bags. What kind of packaging you're going to wrap it in? Are you going to wrap it in cello bags? You're going to wrap it in glycine bags? You're going to wrap it in eco-friendly bags? How much it's going to cost? So there are things like that you have to factor in. Another thing of packaging is it needs to be secure. So this is a lesson I have learnt. It could have been a really expensive lesson. Luckily, it was not. So my first ever wholesale order, I went into it kind of blind. I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. She ordered 30 of my photo frames. And I was like, yay, photo frames. Made them all up. Took me hours. I've never talked about this, by the way, because it was like such a stressful experience at the time. I don't think I've ever talked about this. Yeah, I sent off 30 photo frames. I packaged them all nice in bubble wrap. I was like, this is secure, this is fine. It was in a box. I put styrofoam like packaging peanuts. I made sure it was all okay to go to America. It got there maybe a week later. I received a message. I'm so sorry, but nearly all the frames arrived smashed. And I was like, oh my god, this was like a £200 order. And I was like, oh my god, I was instantly like so stressed. I was like, oh my god, I've lost £200 worth of products because I didn't package them securely enough. To be fair, I packaged them best as I could. I think the company who handled it probably didn't handle it great at all, but it is also my fault because they were glass. I did put loads of sticks on. I was like, fragile tape. But you've got to think, if you're sending something fragile like glass to America, I'm going to tell you now, don't do it. Because yeah, that happened. Luckily, Faire was so amazing. Another reason to go with Faire. They were so amazing, and they were like, as this is your first order with Wholesale, we will deal with it. You don't have to refund them any money. They helped me out. They didn't take any money from me, which was just, I couldn't believe it when I emailed them and I was like, I don't know what to do. My first wholesale order, I didn't realise I didn't know what to do, and they let me keep the money. And I tell you, the biggest relief of my life was that I was like, oh my god, I'm so relieved. And I instantly took all those frames on Wholesale. I now will not sell photo frames on Wholesale, but I have since upgraded to Perspex. What's the word? Perspex? Like Perspex? I don't know if that's the word. Like basically they're like plasticky on the front now. I have plastic and glass ones. So there are few on there. And if I did sell them, I would send them with plastics. There's no way they are smashing. But yeah, I'm just a bit put off even selling frames on there now. So you really, really want to take that into account. If you are selling really fragile items, possibly don't, or really invest into good packaging. So I do sell mugs, ceramic mugs, normal mugs, and I have proper like styrofoam boxes for them. I'll show you now actually, because it's kind of worth showing you if you do sell mugs. So yeah, these are what I packaged my mugs in. It's kind of shape of the mug inside. Put it together like that. Put tape all around it so it's so secure, and I've never had a mug arrive broken with these. They are really good. I don't know where I got them from, but I'm sure you can find them somewhere, like styrofoam mug boxes. So yeah, I'm very confident selling my mugs, knowing they will always arrive fine, and they always have. I had a huge order for like 30 mugs in the day, and they all arrived fine. So I'm very comfortable selling my mugs with proper packaging. Yeah, for photo frames, I don't really have packaging for them. I have bubble wrap, which is what I sent them in. But yeah, but with my normal Etsy photo frames, when I sell one, they always turn up fine, and they're fine. I think it's when you package like 30, 40 frames in one box, they're going to be rubbing against each other. You know, a lot more likely to break, especially when they're going all the way to America and handled by probably not the best company. I'm not sure. Everything else is arrived fine by them, but it might have been a worker who didn't really take much care with the package and didn't realise there was glass in there, and maybe like threw the package around. I don't know. Sometimes you get unlucky with a certain like handler, but yeah, just take that into account, because that's a lesson I really learned. And now whenever I have a wholesale order for anything like fragile, I'll make sure it's properly packaged, something like this. So yeah, don't make my mistake. If you do sell really, really fragile stuff, make sure you have proper packaging, which you might already have anyway if you do sell like through Etsy or anything. But with wholesale, I will say, I feel like it's a bit more likely to get broken, just because you do have, as I said, so many things in one box, possibly like bang against each other. It's a bigger box. I don't know, in my opinion, it's less likely to be taken care of. I'm not sure, but yeah, when I sell stuff through Etsy, it always ends up okay. My photo frames, I don't know why it was that one big order. I think it was just so many things in one box, and it was just not a recipe for disaster probably. Yeah, just take that into account. So hopefully this video was useful, informative. I probably missed out on some things. I think this is like the basics, the main things you need to know. There's probably more that I've forgotten. I'm gonna edit this like, oh my god, I forgot that. But hopefully it was helpful. So if you are considering setting up wholesale, selling your products wholesale, just consider before you jump into it, do you have enough time? Are you already juggling a part-time job, maybe like being a parent? Do you already have enough on your plate? Do you have time to start it? Maybe wait another year, maybe wait for your products to develop more, to have more time to start. You don't have to jump into it straight away, honestly. Like, it's not going to change your life. I mean, it could. I mean, if you get a really big order. For me, it hasn't changed my life. It's gonna probably take a few years to build up. But yeah, the money isn't like crazy where I'm like, sign up now, start wholesale. I definitely say make sure you have enough time to do it first, because there are a lot of things, as I've gone into the video, that you have to like think about first. Make sure you're ready. I have enough time. This is my full-time job, so I have enough time to manage wholesale whilst also managing my Etsy orders and everything else. If you're not getting that many orders at the moment and you want to sell more, you have lots of stock just on your shelves waiting, I'd definitely sign up. Definitely worth it if you're in that kind of situation. But yeah, are you like in the right situation? Are your products wholesale? Like, can your products be wholesale? Be wholesale pricing? Do your products take ages to make, so you might not be the perfect candidate for it? You need to just like weigh up all these things. Can you afford it? Because another thing I probably should have gone into before is you don't get paid for your wholesale order until it is shipped, until it's officially shipped, not just when you print off the label, until it's like actually handed over to UPS. That's what I use. That's what Faire uses, I think, UPS. Until it's officially like handed over to the UPS person. Another little thing to consider as well is, do you have a UPS checkout? Is it called a UPS? I don't know what it's called, like checkpoint or something, to hand your item over to? Because if you don't have one nearby and it's like miles away, maybe reconsider it. But I do have one 10 minutes away from me, so luckily I think there should be hopefully a few around. But you might want to just check that as well. But yeah, you don't get the money until you like actually hand it over. I don't think it's until the next day after that you get the money. But you do have to pay like a 3% fee if you want that. That's what I set up. You either do that, or you get the funds 30 days after you hand it over, which is no fee. But if you want it the day after you hand it over, it's a 3% fee. But for me, that's worth it. It's 3%. I'd rather have my funds the day after I've sent it off. But yeah, so basically you're going to want to order your products in, if you don't have it in stock. So if you had an order for 30 notepads and you have 10, you're going to have to order those products in, which is obviously going to be money out of your account, and you're going to have to wait until you hand it over to get the money back. So can you afford like losing the money until you get it back? That makes sense. Not losing money, but can you afford the money going out your account until you actually hand it over? Because it might be like, it could be like 4 days after you get the wholesale order and you've ordered the stuff until you actually get the money back. So consider that as well. Yeah, there's a few things to consider. Hope this video has cleared your mind and eased your mind. Wholesale isn't scary. It can be really daunting when you first sign up. I remember when I first signed up, I was like, I don't understand any of this. I was like, what is the case size? I just didn't understand it. I was like, what do I price my items at? But it really is a learning curve. You have to make mistakes before you understand, I think, for wholesale. Yeah, once you've got your first few orders, you'll kind of grasp how much profit you're making, how much you should price your products for. how long it takes. So I think like the first few orders are more of a learning curve than necessarily making like a lot of profit, for me anyway. But yeah, hope this video was helpful, and I'll be back in another few weeks for another tips and advice video. My goal is to do a tips and advice video every month, so sit down and record one for you guys every month, and then the rest of my videos will be studio vlogs, maybe like the old Q&A or something. Yeah, my goal is to help you guys on the channel as well, because I know a lot of you who watch this are small business owners as well, and yeah, I want to help you guys and give back you guys for supporting me in like advice and what I've learned, the mistakes I've made, so you guys don't make the same mistakes. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I think we've got on like 330 now, which is absolutely insane. I don't know how this channel has grown in like the past few weeks from like 100 to nearly like 300. It's crazy. Yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already. If you'd like more tips and advice videos, there will be another studio vlog. Next video will be another studio vlog. We'll be looking at Christmas stuff. So we've had some Christmas stuff arrive. So exciting. I can't wait for, oh my god, I cannot wait for Christmas studio vlogs. Like, I am so excited to get this office all Christmassy, because it's still like autumny, obviously it's still autumn, but it's like autumny moment. But when we get like Christmas stuff up in here, Christmas vlogs, Christmas music, Christmas items, products, oh my god, so excited for that. But yeah, next video I'll be showing you guys some Christmassy bits that have come for my Christmas shop date, and I'll tell you how my Halloween short date went as well, and for you guys are in. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.